Hello, hello, welcome to Beats Pet Paints. I'm Pat. I paint things here on YouTube live. You can see it most weekdays about the same time. For me, it's 11 to noon, but for other people, it might be a completely different time. Just depends on where you are. And of course, you know, you can always catch on replays. But if you want to see us live and ask questions and things like that, this is about time we do it. You know, I try to, and if I'm not going to make it, I always try to post something and say something. I've been messing around with all of my setup here, trying to get things rocking and rolling. I think we're gonna have a better look at everything today. I think it's all gonna look a lot better. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. I did manage to tape this magnifying glass to the camera, so I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna go. So let's get rolling. We got a bunch of dwarves to paint. We are moving and shaking. I need to do this. I get a little better at this all the time, I think. Okay. And we'll turn this on. Betting. So now we've got We need to move it. Now that we've got it on there, we need to move it forward. Oh man, that's so much better. And like I can hold it way down here and paint, and you can actually see it. Oh, and it's focusing in on it really well. Yeah. Pop. Of course the dog is going to bark right now. Okay, I'll be right back. Man, this dog. I swear she does this on purpose. Well, as amusing as all that is. I should try to make her come in before I get started, but then I feel like I'm being kind of rude because of like, man, you know, that's also her bathroom out there. So you're like, what do you do? What do you do? All right, all you guys back up a little bit. We are working on this guy right here. Let's see. Sure. Now we're all dried out. Let's get back to getting his beard to look the red we want. So just you're going to do another round of this real thin cadmium wash over it. He's going to end up with that more fieriness. It's a real thin cadmium orange. Almost like a wash. Okay. Dropped a lot of metallics, draw some blues. What is that? Is that a paint? Is that some sort of schmutz? What is that? It's some sort of schmutz. Alright, so let's see. Pretty close to dropping the wash on this guy. Need to put in his bronze work. I want that to be bronze there. This inside needs to be lead belcher. Same thing with this. Kind of keep working your way around. Any place where you see that armor poking out, we need to kind of get in there. That is actually his cloak there, so we're trying to bring that armor right in here. Okay. Our new short is doing really well. Thanks for everybody who jumps in and watches those. I really appreciate it. We have the Blightbringer is now up, so we are almost done posting the shorts for all of the Death Card that we did on our most recent project. It was a great project. Really, really had a lot of fun. So we'll get the Death Card posted, and then we'll get into the Death Watch. So, yeah. That's cool. That's exciting. Some interesting new things. Okay, let's see. Maybe I think this actually needs to go that way. Yes, that is what needs to be. That was much better. I left the little case cover on this magnifying glass when I put it on here. You know, they didn't want to break it or anything. It's not really coming off very easily. But it was definitely getting in the way. We're in a little bit better spot now. Okay. Oof. Might have to do just a touch darker than that back up there. Just a little bit of just a tiny bit of Mars Black, and you can see how fast that Mars Black changes that whole situation. Completely took that white out of there and changed that whole deal. Okay, so one blade, we gotta do this other blade. Start doing our checklist, make sure we got everything done. We're gonna drop the wash on this guy. And then we, the other two are dry, so we can get to work on those test schemes we did. And we'll have all those, we can get those done up, maybe finish today. Work on their faces. Well, one of their faces. The other one isn't really a face. It's all beard and helmet. So he's pretty much. We just got to make sure all his other stuff is done. All his little details and bits we want to pick out. And this guy's got this lock thing down here. What is that? It's sitting on. Is it a money peg? It is. It looks like it's got coins. Yeah, this is definitely our rogue. Would definitely make a great rogue miniature for anybody that's is playing Dungeons and Dragons as a dwarven rogue. And that's just lead belcher I'm using there. It's a Citadel color. I do like a lot of Games Workshop's metallics. Just very gently, very slowly pull those bottles out like so with a little bit of titanium white. We're going to come back and do a lot of other stuff to this, but we want to get this in here and give it a chance to sit up and dry. Alright, let's do this money down here because we definitely want to throw some of our oil wash on this. This money in this log, and I think there's a bag. I guess we gotta figure out what color we're gonna make the floor. We can do that later. It won't need the metal wash on it. We're not gonna make the floor metallic, so. But anything I'm getting ready to throw my grimy goots on, I want to make sure I've got it's painted. Now this is a bronze. It's not a gold. It's a bronze. I used to use a lot more gold paint and gold and do more things in a gold, but you start thinking about it and like there's only a certain amount of people in a medieval society that would have a large amount of gold, and you definitely want to put a large amount of gold all over your troops. You'd want to put it like bronze or brass or something else that looks like gold but it maybe isn't gold. And that's how I arrived at. I found this bronze And it is so close to gold that, like, most people mistake it for gold. So it worked out really well in the end. Boy, this guy's just trying to flip out of my hand. I'm glad he's all stubby. I'm just smacking him, snapping off stuff if he was spindly. That would be no good. Alright. So... and a belly full of pork, bread, and ale. That's right. Ah. How are you today, my friend? Good to see you. I have taped up the magnifying glass. I think it actually looks better. I think you can see all the pieces way better. And it's not like all the way down on the bench, so I can actually see what I'm doing. But it seems to grab the pieces better. Like it locks into them a whole lot faster. Maybe I might just be tripping. But yeah, it like definitely seemed to focus better. And it's got I feel like you can see some of these details a little bit better now that it's focused properly, or focusing better. So might have fixed our camera until we can afford to replace it, which, who knows when that's gonna be. Okay. You guys saw me do a wash yesterday, so we're not gonna worry about doing that metal wash again. I'll do it myself later on. Let's do these guys, get them finished up. Oh, guy and gal. I'm gonna start off. Very thin umber. This is raw umber here. We're just going to catch all the crevices, all the shadows, so to speak, the depths, the low lights, whatever you want to call it. Let that sit for just a second. Luckily, with it being super thin, yeah, just a tiny bit of this Alzerian Crimson. We want it pretty thin as well. I'm gonna color in her mouth and lips. Now, it's gonna be, kind of play with it a little bit. Don't get it too thin, but you don't want it too thick. Looks like she smeared her lipstick. Okay, easy fix on that one. And we're going to do a little bit of this pale rose blush. And again, focusing on our highlights. Kind of bringing that tone in as we go. And that's going to help tone it down. Just a touch. We gotta let her get all nice and dried. It's not a very how do you say feminine mood she's in there. She definitely seems to be very animalistic and violent with the mouth open like that. Do the same thing here. It's just a little bit of raw umber to bring our color just down a touch. And we'll go ahead and bring these colors over. Now we won't be needing the crimson for the arms and hands, obviously, but that was pretty easy on that. Now we'll finish up her hair, and she's out the door. Yeah, I get so fussy about this stuff. I really shouldn't. I totally do. I would get a lot more done if I wasn't so fussy over it. I'm like, oh, it's got a small blemish. But I guess that's what makes my, it's what separates, you know, the really dedicated painters to other painters. There's a level where you're good enough. You say, oh, that's good enough, you know. And everybody's level's a little different. And there's nothing wrong with it being, that's good enough to get it on the table. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's not what I do. we kind of go for broke around here. I use this channel a lot to kind of number one, it's good advertisement for the studio. You know, we get commissions and stuff from that time to time because of it. But it's also really nice to have you know, like a log to be able to go back and look and say, oh, this is what I was doing then, and this is where my skill levels were. And then you know, a few years later, check back again, see where your skill levels are and how much you've changed I really kind of like that kind of thing. So that is the main purpose of the channel. And the rest of it is to, you know, give people something to watch. Any questions? You know, throw that stuff out there. I love answering questions. Questions can sometimes, answers can get a little rambling sometimes, but I do enjoy answering them. I also like to hear about other people's projects. I love hearing about other people's projects. As a matter of fact, when I get the time to reset all my stuff, we're going to add that to our little thing on the side there. The welcome notes. I want to add in a tell me about your projects. Because I definitely like hearing about what other people are doing. It's kind of fun. For me, anyway. And sometimes, like, I'll get inspired. Somebody will have, like, an idea that they're working on. I'm like, oh, man, that makes me think of doing this thing that I was going to do a certain way differently or whatever. Yeah, she's looking great. Like Tony the Tiger Eater. Great. He always talks about how hard it is to paint white. And I'm like, my main tip is always to kind of know what you want to put underneath a color. See, since we wanted her to have that white shirt, we put the undertones of it like a linen color, kind of the, you know, same color as her hair. So they're called Naples Yellow is the name of the paint. And then, if that's all done, we can add this layer of white over it, and it'll make it look like more pure white, even though it won't be. We'll still have some fading and stuff like that, because just the nature of white's pigment, it just does that. I need to put like together like a whole conversation about pigments and stuff. We talk about it all the time, but I feel like it might be helpful to have like I don't know, like a tutorial, I don't even know if I would call like a tutorial. Maybe it's just an informational video. Okay, so here's something interesting. And I don't know if you can actually see it, but right in here are a bunch of the little supports, and it's catching on my paintbrush. And it's from when it was printed. And I just never, they were in a weird place, so you couldn't see them till they started getting interfering with what we were doing. And now we can see them, and that's why we couldn't get that paint to follow through. And you won't be able to really see that on the miniature after it's all said and done, but you know. I get obsessive about those sort of things. Man, yeah, I really like this magnifying glass because we can get these close-ups and take a good look at this stuff. Man, I should have pulled that thing that close. You might actually be able to see it. Okay, I think we may have gotten the camera really going well. I'm very excited about that. All right, she's looking great. What is that? I don't know what that is. Some sort of schmitzy or something. Let's give her a second coat of blue. That won't hurt anything anyway. We'll come back through and I'll pick out some more of the little parts to her armor as well. Things that need to be brass. Some of it we lost a little bit of it in our wash. A little bit more vibrant blue. All right. Looks like there's only a few little places we really need to bring it back out, right? On these thigh pads. I think I hit pretty hard. That was hard to see underneath all that. This side looks pretty okay. Alright. We'll just have to figure out what we're going to do about these bases and get that base done. She's off to the races. Alright. Beer boy here. Alright, this is pure Payne's Gray over this lightened Payne's Gray. Very thin, almost wash-like. Really trying to create some highlights and shadows here. Show off that it's in fact a shirt, and also kind of give us some depth from the shadows and things like that. We can leave a lot more coloration around the tops of things. Help create a little bit more depth. Well, he didn't need a lot, does he? Let's do. That's a little bit, just a little bit of burnt sienna. Very concentrated in that area. Right around the edges of this. And we'll just pull out a little bit. Let that set up. I don't think that second one actually has a filigree piece on it. It's just this top one. You can see there's no trim on this one at least. I'll come back and make this one look the same. There's no telling if that was on purpose or what. We can at least hit with a little bit of silver. Or sorry, with a lead belcher. Just to kind of pull it out. Okay. A little bit more white to his studs here. There we go. I love that mug. that's just boiling over with beer, frothing. Both of them. He's got wet on his belt. So why does he have a beer mug on a beer stein on his belt? We don't know. It's fine. Really cool design. Great deal. We'll work on the basis later. Moving forward. What time is it? Oh, we're doing great. We're doing really well. If you just join us, thanks for watching. This is Piece of Pat Paints. I paint miniatures and other small things on YouTube. It's all a lot of fun for me. It's kind of like a video diary of my progress as I work on things. Yes, we take commissions. Yes, we love questions. Any questions, go ahead and throw them in there in the chat. I love to answer them. I love to talk about things. Almost all things. There are a few banned topics around here, but there aren't many. Oh gosh. I feel like I need to get one of those things that says no whatever da 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 in the chat. Okay, so next we're gonna start getting this guy prepped up. The camera still doesn't like this guy even with the magnifying glass. A little bit better that way. There we go. So yeah, I love his little lantern. Even though it's a little slanty, but it should look great. Slanty lanty. He's got some sort of drums down here. I'm not exactly sure what those are supposed to be. They look like drums. It's got like a bone hammer thing. I don't know. Kind of interesting. He's got like a crossbow axe going on here. Alright. So, the other guy got a green. What should we give this guy's cloak? Phthalo blue. Be fun. Be really pretty. I guess we should actually decide what we want this guy's cloak to be first. Now this guy is the same guy as the one that's on the eagle. So, you gotta figure that out. You should definitely have like the Windsor blue. So do we want to put this guy in blue or put him in something else? A nice red. That look good. No way, they're all a little different. I like red. We'll do this crimson. This is an Alzarian Crimson, is the name of this color. It probably will not be the final color of this cloak. And he's got some sort of... He's got something else going on here. So that's a cloak, and then that's like a... It's hard to say because he doesn't have one in the front. This is like a tabard. But... I don't see the rest of it. This guy's got a lot of stuff going on. It's a scroll. And what is that on his... What does he have on his crotch? Oh my god. What does he have on his crotch? Getting in there and getting it done. He's got a shirt on too. He has to pick a color for a shirt. Well, this guy's got all sorts of colors for you to pick. Those are like... That's not part of his cloak. That's something else. Straps or ribbons or something. I don't know. This guy's got a lot going on. Okay. That's a phthalo blue. Those are some sort of ribbon kind of things coming off. Throw a whole other color in here. Let that dry up a bit. Okay. What color are we making this guy's hair? Give him like black hair. It's a Mars black. Keep it nice and thin to let that zenithal highlight we did do the work, do a lot of work for us, so we don't have to come back and mess with it. Oh yeah, I kind of like this guy with black hair. He looks ominous as hell. There we go. Trying to get a very little amount of paint on my brush, so it's sometimes I feel like I miss it and I put on the go paint on it and there's nothing there. I'm like, yeah, I definitely miss it. Because you don't want a whole lot of that black paint on your paintbrush when you're doing this sort of thing, because it will definitely make it black, like instantly. So you want it thin, and you want to barely have any on there, a little bit to it. All right. And start working on his leather bits. It's one of those supports from when it was 3D printed. Sometimes you really don't see them until you're literally doing the final stages of painting on the model, and you're like, oh, there it is. I think we give him the same color pants as his tabard. Like it's a one thing that he wears. It all comes together, you know. We'll definitely make his shirt feeling like linen, white or something like that. Is that a piece of armor? It is. That shirt, though. I think I like that blue. I think I want to go. I think I'm going to go with phthalo green, actually. Instead of phthalo blue. Or maybe one on top of the other is going to yield us a color we like. We add that green to it. It's kind of like an aqua green. I just don't like the blue. The blue felt a little too, I don't know, Captain America-y? I don't know how to explain it. It just felt, wrong. It's like, that's too, it's too on the nose of a color combination. I guess. I don't know. It could just be being weird. I overthink a lot of this stuff sometimes. Which might be why it always looks so interesting. There's definitely a certain kind of look to the pieces that I put out. Maybe it's a whole nother paper in there. Maybe he's got 2 scrolls tied up in there. This guy's got a gang of stuff on him. He definitely would make a great adventurer miniature. Got a good chance of selling him, I think. I like that. Yeah, I like that green. That looks a lot better. The greenish blue. It's not so on the nose. Second coat of this crimson. That's an Alzerian crimson. So it's not straight, normal blazing red crimson. A little more of a maroon. Or a brick red kind of deal. Alright. I like the idea of making these come out to be white too. These tassels. I'll have to work that up though. Alrighty. Now that looks like a book. This guy might be some sort of librarian or something. Not sure what his job would be. I bet they have a whole bunch of different information on these guys. I just don't look it up. The people who make the figures, they put a lot of work into their little world, and I just paint the miniatures. I should get more involved in it. But I change everything so often. You know, I'm always painting something else. You know, we'll be back on, you know, Warhammer or Reaper pieces. You know, once we get these done, maybe we may stay on Arsenal stuff. I know we get a lot more. There's a lot more views when we do Warhammer stuff. It's just more popular, so it's easy to generate views that way. Oh, those little studs, looks like I had 2 of them. Sometimes they like to get attached to the thing during the curing process. Yeah, trying to fix it. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this guy sit down. I gotta go to the bathroom. So that's a good time of any to end the show. Because we're pretty close. Yeah, only got a few minutes left, so we can sit there and fill a little bit of this out with me talking, and then we'll call it. So thanks for coming by. Anybody who made it by to watch, appreciate all that stuff. If you give us any likes, subscribe, stuff like that, really appreciate that too. I love doing this. It's kind of a fun. It's a fun thing to kind of do in my retirement. Maybe maybe I should do some classes at the library or something. Who knows? We shall see. We're gonna get there when we get there. But yeah. Thanks for coming by. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, same or Pat time, Pat channel, whichever you prefer. It's kind of fun. I think I said that yesterday. Same joke. I repeat things a lot. Yep. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Finish up some dwarves. I want to get these heroes done. So we're gonna get now that we've got our 2 testers finished up. We'll finish up these heroes, and maybe I'll do the griffin. But I don't know. Woo. We'll see. If you guys have some opinions, let me know. It helps so I know other people's opinions. Other than that, be good yourself. Be good to somebody else. Be good to people you don't know. Try to spread a little good around. The world needs it. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.